Alright, so it looks like she has 11 in attack and 2 in, I forget what this was called, agile, and 10 in force. So these are all good skills. I like this. She's also chaotic, which is also another bonus. So I apologize if you didn't really like that. I hope that we can still get along. That's not me being crass or anything. I hope that you can still enjoy my video, even though that you can see that I'm putting odds into my favor, I guess. Like, I've already created all these characters with powerful manpower skills, like as many as I'm allowed to in a normal character. You can create the same character because you're allowed to create the level 1 character now in the pre-generated or in the custom party. She has a violent and heartless, meaning that she does more damage and for both critical hits and physical attacks. So that's fantastic. And I probably could not have picked a better character. And it only took me, I don't know, 6 resets. That's pretty good. So I can press tab to switch between characters. I can press 2 also to go to her and 1 to go to me. Left clicking will move my character around. Right clicking doesn't do anything right now, but you'll see that if I hover over this, you see approach on the left side. And that means I would do a left button to do that. If there was something on the right, such as knit a sweater on the right side and left was approach, if I right clicked, I would knit a sweater. These buttons here, this tells the characters to stop following you, so I could have a whole party of people and they wouldn't automatically follow me. This button tells them to come to me, so I'll click that and there you go. I can also do that with C. If for more help, I can press H and hold H to see this. This is a large amount of text all at once. So let's take a look at some of these things. When I am in battle, I can defend, which takes less damage, 50% less. I can also risk, move, stand by. This is when you target yourself, and I'll explain more about that. It generates a small amount of risk. We'll talk more about risk in my first battle, which will be very, very fast. I can press Control to toggle the amount of this transparency I get. That's good. So you'll see here it's a wall. Press Control, I get no wall. So here's the cell I was in. Nothing special in it. I can pan the camera with the WASD keys, and I can hold Shift to act recklessly. Now let's go ahead and proceed on. So now I can right-click at these signs. So you see on the right, instead of saying approach on the left, I have right-click examine. Left-clicking on the map will always be a movement. Right-clicking will always be an interaction. Objects that can be interacted with will show feedback text when you mouse over them. Unless you're telekinetic, you have to get close in order to interact. There's a guard waiting in the next room, and you will have to fight him. People with high fight or hunt ratings will deal lots of damage in close combat, while people with high guard or dodge ratings are good at soaking or avoiding it. People with high blast rating can do a lot of damage when they are not in close combat, and a high ward rating allows you to heal wounds and disrupt enemy magic. Let me make sure that Audacity is still running. Alright, looks fine. Try to position fighters so that the enemy is forced to come to you. This lets you have the first strike in close combat. Sometimes having someone in close combat who just defends themselves is more helpful than having them attack. Alright, so if I really wanted to, I could stack my characters up against the door and then take edge. At worst, I'm just gonna press C, because it's not that important. The game is pretty generous with the amount of spaces you can move. So she's moving first because she has more agility, essentially. Now, if I'm holding shift, you'll see these giant pulsating aura around the screen. That's to indicate that I'm about to enter risk mode. This is me holding down the shift key. Take a look up here. You notice that this is the next turn here. This is the dividing line between this turn and the next turn. If I hold shift, Moria can actually move again before the end of the turn. If I let go of shift, she'll only move when the turn ends. Let's try having her... Let's have her just stand by for now. So I'm going to hold shift and make her stand by. She'll only move after Brand. It's not standing by long enough to move after the guard. Okay, now it's Brand's turn. If I go here, the guard will get to move. I will basically move and then the guard will move. Let's go ahead and move here. So this little orange bar here indicates how much risk I've accumulated. Let's go and stand by. Now the guard's turn to move. Keep paying attention to this section here while I explain about risk. So now he has gone ahead and placed himself in range of my characters. Let's go ahead and move just gonna, you know, yeah, I was just gonna put it right here. Even if now the thing about risk is it's a free turn, at the possibility that you will get, you will fumble. So right now I can end my turn by just defending and I will not fumble. I can also end my turn by attacking and I will not fumble. This is a regular attack. This is a risky attack. So you see that the arrow has gone orange in the top left, and I will get to move again. I don't actually need to do anything, so I'm just going to defend. You know what? No, actually, I'm going to stand by. I'm going to let him swing at me first. I'll take more damage. I'll take 50% more damage, essentially. So if I defended that, I might have taken 1 or 2. Now I'm going to defend, and I healed that damage back up. At this point, he's already ended his turn, so I'm going to let Moria take a chance to run up to him and attack him. If she fumbles, it should be okay. So let's try it. I'm going to dash over to him. Alright, and I'm going to go and swing at him until I fumble. And this first attack might just very well be a fumble. Okay, it's not. So now I can try one more time. She is at super incredibly high risk. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. Not because I need to, but because I want to show you what happens if I fumble. Or what happens when I max my risk. So I'm going to do it again. So you see how she's going to get the turn before the next icon on the top left? Let's take another swing. So she fumbled. So she took like 50% more damage there. Let's see what help says. Does it say anything? Not necessarily. I'm sure later it will. So she took 15 damage, which is a large amount of damage. That's okay. As long as I'm more careful from here on out, I should be fine. In fact, you know what we could do? Let's go ahead and dash him over here, dash her here, and I can just heal the rest of that pain away. So this will be 5 turns. But I do more damage to him than he does to me. Or I do more damage to him than he can... Sorry, I'm messing that all up while I'm clicking here. I heal more damage than he can possibly do to me. So let's have her stand by. Go ahead and activate defense mode. And then I'll rush up and stab him in the face. Okay, so he dropped a sandwich as loot, and this is Moria's backpack. It doesn't actually matter. Let me turn off follow. See, I can actually have them trade between each other. If I hold down right click, Bran can actually eat her sandwich all the way from over here. It's not whose backpack that this belongs to that eats it. Moria will not eat it. Bran will eat this. So I need to actually select Moria if I wanted her to eat it. I don't. I'm just going to keep it and sell it. So right now you saw that there's a twinkle of stars right here. That means that there's an item you can interact with here. In which case it's a small key. Now over here I can spin that key on this. I'm going to go ahead, just so I can show you what's behind this. This needs an ordinary key. I'm going to go ahead and expend mine, so it's gone. I had a 1 here. This 2 here means I can hire 2 more people in my band, and I have 6 gold coins. I'll get my key back though. Still in the grasp of the dusty corpse is a key. It looks like he never got a chance to use it. Alright, so now I have my key back, so here's a 1. So basically nothing changed, except now I can show you this Tattered Scroll, which my characters will not be able to do. This is called a challenge. Tattered Scroll. I finally worked out the spell that will open that damn mechanical door. Now I just need to wait for the right moment to use it. This scroll is a weave challenge. Challenges require points and utility skills, in this case, weave. Be careful though, you can be injured if you fail to overcome a challenge. These are the utility skills, that's what the hammer stands for. There's labor challenges, thwart challenges, and weave challenges. You need at least 50 points in order to attempt a challenge. None of my characters meet that requirement, so I'm just going to leave this scroll alone. It wouldn't even let me try to cast a spell anyways. So there's really nothing in here. There's not going to be anything in either of these rooms, but I'm going to go ahead and explore it anyways. Just so you can kind of see what the game is like. So here's everything empty, nothing special. If you go up to this sign and you haven't found anything, give your party members a chance to evaluate their surroundings by holding still. Your party members will find the key to this door if you let them. Press the R key or the spyglass button on the left side of the screen to show you items that may be loose on the floor. the guard dropped a sandwich. If you haven't already, pick it up and put it in an inventory slot by right-clicking it, and then clicking a slot. What this means is, you right-click to interact on the map. So I'll right-click to pick it up in my cursor, and then left-click it, place it in a slot. If I wanted to move this from Moria to someone else, I would left-click it. If I wanted to eat it, I would right-click it. If someone was injured in the fight with that guard, select that person with the tab key or number keys 1 to 4, and then right-click and hold to eat the sandwich. Food is reasonably plentiful and cannot be used in combat, so use it to keep your health topped up. Alright, so there's a guard like right around here, and there's another guard here. Just like in XCOM, enemies will not respond or do anything until you spot them. So if I wanted to, I could charge into the room, and then they will both attack me. It's probably, like XCOM, safer just to sit and let the enemies come to you. In this case, that's what I'm going to do now to show you about that this guard just will stand here and watch his buddy get killed. Now, they generally just go up to the first person they can reach, but he might easily run up to here anyways, even though he can swing at me from here. So I'm going to just have her back up. He can still hit me if he goes here, but it's fine. I don't need to optimize every turn, I'll just let him do this because it's faster. So I just had him do a risk attack. It looks like the guard's still and he's active. So that said camaraderie, I would have fumbled there, except these two are chaotic, so they had a chance to recover that. So now that he's been hit, I'm going to make him defend. And let's try standby again. Okay, now he's done. He's done with his turn. I'm gonna rush in, and hopefully she'll make it. Yeah. So that was basically ways you can use risk. Maybe it wasn't the best way, but I'm also demonstrating it. I didn't really see anything wrong with that plan, though. Alright, so there's a guy right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just run as close to him as I can. By the way, your friends will not trigger enemies. That must have been impassioned. It doesn't heal very much then, if it only healed like it was once in a while, a great while thing. I probably should have picked innocent. I don't know. That's fine. I'll just move on as is. We get more, and I don't want to spend more time trying to recreate to find a good sidekick. Let's go and place her up here. Alright, you'll notice that this firewood stack, I can't interact with it. But, if I light the fire, the remnants of a fire pit. Now that there's enough light for me to interact with this. I don't know how often this mechanic appears in a game, but yeah, basically this is an event, so this allows you to access this. That's reasonable, in-game mechanical terms. So I get some money. You're marked as a criminal now, but you never know when coin could come in handy. Best keep as much of it as you can find. Alright, so over here is going to be a super tough guard. Well, maybe a little bit tougher than normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually skip him for now. And there's 2 guards in this room, I think. There's a weapon over here that I can get, though. That should make that next fight easier. I guess it's just 1 guard. See, so Moria, she hasn't discovered him. But she will if I switch. So at this time I'm going to switch to her, and then bam, the guard discovers her. Now she's almost dead. Alright, since I'm about to enter the next fight, which is pretty tough, I'm just gonna go ahead and heal her up. And yeah, I could use food. In fact, I might as well. So let's go ahead and just use food. There you go, now she's maxed. Because I'm gonna be full on inventory by the time I get out of here, I think. You found an old battered dagger. Right-click an item to pick it up. You can change equipment as much as you want in your combat, but only during your own turn. This gives me more physical. Not 20 points of physical damage, just more physical. Maybe it means, I don't know, maybe it's the same equivalent of having 20 more points in fight. Do we see what this sign says? You've noticed enemies acting in reckless bursts. You can use the shift key to perform an action recklessly instead. A reckless action increases your risk gauge every time you perform one, but it ends your turn. The more risk you have, the more likely a fumble will occur. Fumbled actions expose you to extra damage until your next turn. Cautious actions will never fumble, regardless of risk, but they will immediately end your turn. Managing risk effectively is the key to success. Daredevils, however, contribute bonus experience to the party, so it may, on occasion, be worthwhile to throw caution to the wind. Daredevil is when you reach the risk gauge to max. Alright, this is a stocks officer. Oh, he's a bit tougher. Okay, that's not good. So I fumbled there. So I have to be very careful that he does not slaughter her outright. There's not much I can do about that, though, other than I can try to murder him first. Okay, so now her fumble was gone because she got to move. You know she's doing way more damage than the guard is. Going back up some. We'll get some more healing in. Like food, potions restore health and often have other beneficial effects. Unlike food, potions can be used in combat, so they are great for emergencies. You can drink a potion on your own turn, but it can be used from anybody's backpack. It doesn't use up your turn, so you can drink a potion and still take another action. There's an iron key on the table here. Now this lever will open up this door here. I can also use a labor. This is labor, but it's like physical challenges. I can use a labor challenge here or a guile challenge here. Instead, I have neither points to do either, or I don't have any points to do either, so I can only use the switch. Now I can choose to use the key to check out what's behind this door, which I will do. I don't actually know what's behind this door because I don't remember if other players have done this. I did know that. Oh yeah, I did remember there being a guard here. Okay. So I'm just gonna heal up actually. It's okay for him to hit Moria because because the healing heals both of them. So Bran has quite a ways to go to heal up. A torch can be equipped in your accessory slot. Accessories have lots of different effects, so try them out. That's much better. Armor goes in the middle equipment slot. You can have only a single protective item equipped at once. Let's take a look at its stats. It gives me 30 points of protection, 5 evasion. You notice that it doesn't actually change my appearance, so whatever appearance you start the game with is what you look like for the rest of the game. So I hope you are happy with your character creation. Let's go ahead and have one of my characters eat something. I guess Moria. Alright, this next fight will probably be... this will be the hardest fight yet. Unless I can just trigger one. Nope. So basically I've got 2 guys to deal with at this point. Oh, you know what? I guess I just did what I said that was going to happen. I had Bran selected and I meant Moria to eat, but Bran ate. That's fine. Now, I can actually walk through them, by the way. I'm going to stand by for now, though. So basically, if you don't know what I'm doing, because it's like I'm not explaining anything, I'm trying to wait him out. So basically we're seeing who will move last. If he moves last on a turn, I'm going to have Moria rush in and cut his throat out. In the meantime, though, he has to deal with Bran just standing there taking all the hits. And, you know, swinging first for every turn, because I get 1 free risk move, essentially. In fact, he's done, so I might as well just finish him off. Instead of doing a risk move, which has, like, you know, I'm holding shift now to see how much of a chance I have to succeed. Although I don't think it's really a 60% chance to fail. It might be, but whatever. I'm just gonna do a regular attack. I'm gonna release shift and just do an attack. And there we go. So I have too much food. I'm gonna start eating. It doesn't really matter though, because when I leave the map, which the signpost will soon say, one of these signs, it will tell me that you heal up. Your health is fully restored between levels, so there's no need to use up your food before leaving. Any items left on the floor will disappear when you leave, so make sure you haven't left anything you'd keep. Once you escape, you will not be able to return. Be sure you are finished. Press and hold F1 to get extra information on most screens. Give it a try here and again after you leave. That's the H key. Alright, so we have finished our first map. The rest of these maps will not be quite as talk heavy, so I will be more quiet and I'll play more. I will explain things I can though. So that's it for the stocks of Lukatt. Actually, you know, let me just double check the map. So yeah, it looks like I'm done here. There wasn't really much I could have missed aside from that side room with the armor and the torch. A fantastic start. You manage to lose pursuing guards within the space of an hour, but there is little time to celebrate your new freedom. Night is beginning to fall and a chill fog is settling over the land. In the receding twilight, you manage to spot the mouth of a cave. It is no luxury to be sure, but it is a good deal more appealing than the cell you left behind, and you have little choice if you want to survive the night. You and Moria pick your way across the crags to the mouth of the cave.